Hi folks, it's Chef Kevin. Welcome to my cooking channel. Have a little different video tonight. I'm going to be demonstrating how to use a grilling pan. I have two grilling pans here. Now the sole purpose of a grilling pan is just to put grill marks on a piece of food, whether it be chicken, fish, beef, whatever. Other than that, these are totally impractical. You cannot use these for a stir fry, you can't make eggs in it, nothing except grill marks. I have two pans here, they're both cast iron. This is a large 12-inch cast iron uncoated pan. Now, as you can see, the peaks are fairly close to each other, and they're very narrow at the top. Let me bring you in a bit here. It's more like a V shape. And that's where the heat is going to get concentrated on, the very tip. And they're also fairly high. They're about 1/4 of an inch high. And the valleys are fairly close together. The valleys are the low parts, of course. Okay, the other cast iron pan I have, this is from Williams-Sonoma. And like I said, this one's coated. Now this one's a little bit different. The valleys are closer together and the peaks are more rounded. It's more like a U shape instead of a V shape on the large. And they're not quite as high either. So that's that. Now you can also buy the aluminum grilling trays, but those are actually the worst because the peaks tend to be very wide and the valleys are very wide as well because of the metal properties of aluminum. So I would not use that. Besides, cast iron is very heavy, so it'll keep the heat in. Once you put a steak into a aluminum pan, the temperature of the pan will go down greatly. Okay, this is a very scientific study we're doing here tonight, folks. I have two pretty much identical boneless shell steaks, and I already patted them dry. And how I'm going to cook these is I'm going to put a little olive oil on the outside and then salt and pepper. I'm not going to put the oil in the pan because then the oil would go into the valleys, the ridges, and then it would create a lot of smoke. So this is not so much about the recipe, this is more about the technique in this case. Okay, so I'm gonna go and get set up. Now I know which pan will produce the better grill marks, but I'm not gonna say right now. This way you're forced to watch the whole video and I have a better chance of increasing my video time, and I have a better chance of having the video picked up on YouTube's algorithm. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to cook these steaks identically. Little black pepper, salt, Sea salt. Now I have this pan pretty hot here, and that's what you have to do. The steak like this thickness has to be cooked over a high heat. This way you have a nice char on the outside, and the inside will be not as cooked. I'm going for medium rare here. Now, why the grill marks? I mean, you don't need the grill marks at all. But it makes it look, you know, a little sexier, a little more professional. But it does add a certain amount of taste as well. Because what you're doing is you're burning the steak. And that gives it a little bit more flavor. Okay, I'm going to put this steak on at a 45-degree angle to the lines. I have a timer here, and I'm going to cook each side 2.5 minutes. And then what I'm going to do after 2.5 minutes, I'm going to flip it over. Well, not flip it over, but turn it over. You'll see. Just keep watching. That's 2.5 minutes. I'm going to pick it up and move it 45 degrees for another 2.5 minutes. Okay, that was 5 minutes, so I'm going to flip it over. Okay, 7.5 minutes. I'm going to turn it 45 degrees. We are smoking here, boy. Okay, that was 10 minutes. I'm going to take this off. Keep that aside. I'm going to go ahead and set up my lodge. Okay, here we go with the lodge. Same procedure, putting this in at 45 degrees. Two and a half minutes. Then I'll rotate it at 45 degrees for another 2.5 minutes. Flip it over. 2.5 minutes. Rotate it. Another 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Turn 45 degrees. That's 5 minutes. I'm going to flip it over. Look at those grill marks. Seven and a half minutes. Turn it 45 degrees. Okay, that was 10 minutes. Total cooking time. We'll pull it off. Okay, I'm going to let these set for a while because you're not supposed to cut into a hot protein. And then we'll see what it looks like on the inside, and we'll judge the grill marks as well. Okay, folks, steaks are cooked. That is the Lodge steak. That is the Williams Sonoma. Let's take a look. Okay, the Williams Sonoma steak, on this side, we can barely see the grill marks. Flip it over. there are pretty much no grill marks on that side. This was the first side down. That's the second side down. There are some grill marks, but nothing to be impressed about. Okay, this is the lodge. There's quite a lot of grill marks on that. Let me flip it over. Quite a lot of grill marks on that as well. So I would say the lodge definitely has the advantage over the Williams-Sonoma, and that's because the pieces, the ribs, were very thin on the top, and that's what concentrated the heat. So you get a nice char on that. I'm just going to cut this right in half. That's a beautiful medium rare. That's what most steaks aficionados prefer. This is pretty much the same thing. Medium rare. Hope you can see that. Okay, if you're watching this video, you're very lucky tonight because I have two judges and they're going to critique my steak. Now keep in mind, neither one of them are chefs, and neither one of them actually been to a culinary school, but they do seem to like meat. So let's bring these judges here. Okay, the first judge is from the South Bronx, and she was actually abandoned on the streets several years ago, and I took her in, and then she had a puppy. So the big one is her puppy and she's the little one, and we're going to see how they like this steak. Dogs? Mouse? 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 Come here, Mouse. Mouse, come here. Come here. Okay. Our judges are here. Okay. Judges, how do you like this steak? This steak is cooked perfect, medium rare. That's the small one is the mommy. She was abandoned 8 years ago, and I took her into my possession. Let's see what Mouse likes. Mouse, you like this steak? Now this big one here is her baby. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but okay. Tell me what you think about this steak. That's medium rare. You like medium rare? You like medium rare? Mouse, are you ready for another piece? Huh? They're not really telling me much, but they seem to be enjoying. One more piece, and then we'll go to the park. You want this or you want McDonald's? You want Mickey D's? Huh? You want Mickey D's? Nah, you don't want that shit. Okay, folks, I told you this is going to be an unusual video. Thanks for watching.